Scientism, the belief in the universal application of scientific methods and the exclusive use of scientific evidence in the search for truth, has long been hailed as a beacon of objectivity and reason. But as we delve deeper into the dark side of scientism, a disturbing picture emerges. Far from being a bastion of rationality, scientism is actually often used as a tool for dogmatism, stifling the very scientific mindset it claims to champion. The evidence is clear. Scientism is killing scientific inquiry and our ability to truly understand the world around us. When it comes to understanding the world through the lenses of science, there are two different ways of approaching things. They are called scientific mindset and scientism. You may wonder, what is the difference? To start, let's first define what we mean by science. Science is the systematic and logical approach to discovering new knowledge about the world. It involves observations, forming hypotheses, designing experiments to test these hypotheses, and finally analyzing the results. See, the science is based on evidence and the systematic process for testing ideas and theories through observation and experimentation. And with that out of our way, let's shift our focus to the scientific mindset. Scientific mindset is a way of thinking and approaching problems that is based on the principles of science. It involves being curious and open-minded, asking questions and seeking answers through evidence and experimentation. And perhaps the most importantly, this mindset means willingness to revise or change your beliefs based on new evidence. A scientific mindset also involves being skeptical of claims that are not supported by evidence, and being willing to actually challenge assumptions and explore alternative viewpoints. Now, let's contrast this with scientism. Scientism is a narrow-minded and dogmatic approach to science. It is characterized by closed-mindedness, being rigid, and resistance to alternative viewpoints. Scientism can lead to a distorted or oversimplified understanding of the world, as it tends to prioritize certain viewpoints or perspectives over others. It can also lead to dogmatism and extremism, in which people become overly invested in their beliefs and are unwilling to consider alternative viewpoints or revise their beliefs based on new evidence. In this chapter, we will delve deeper into the potential dangers of scientism, which are: first is the distortion and oversimplified understanding of issues. One of the biggest problems with the concept of scientism is that it can lead to a distorted or oversimplified understanding of the world. For example, in the field of medicine, the reliance on pharmaceutical solutions to health problems may ignore the role of lifestyle factors such as diet, exercise, and stress management. This is evident in the rising rates of chronic diseases such as obesity, diabetes, heart disease, which cannot be treated solely with medication but require a holistic approach to life. To fully address issues, we need to consider a wide range of evidence and perspectives, rather than relying solely on a narrow view of science and heavily related corporate interests. Another problem with the concept of scientism is that it can lead to a lack of personal accountability and responsibility. See, when we rely on quick fixes and technological solutions to problems, we may be tempted to avoid making the difficult changes to our own behavior or lifestyle. For example, in the field of environmental policy, the emphasis on technological solutions such as renewable energy or carbon capture may distract from the need for individuals to reduce their own carbon footprint through changes such as driving less and not consuming animal products. We need to recognize the immense role that personal choices and behaviors play in creating and solving problems, and to make changes on our personal level rather than praying to technological gods to solve the problems for us. Yet another risk of scientism is that it can lead to dogmatism. And dogmatism is an inflexible and uncompromising adherence to a particular belief or ideology. When we become dogmatic, we also become overly invested in our beliefs and unwilling to consider alternative viewpoints or to revise our beliefs based on new evidence. Dogmatism is a major threat to the scientific enterprise, as it goes against the very principles of science. Science is all about questioning, exploring, seeking the truth, and dogmatism stifles this process. It leads us to become entrenched in our beliefs and resistant to new ideas, which can prevent us from actually making the progress and discovering new knowledge. Moreover, dogmatism can lead to extremism, in which people become extreme in their beliefs and actions. This can have serious consequences, as it can lead to conflicts and even violence. Furthermore, scientism can also have negative impacts on policy and decision-making, as it leads to adoption of misguided or ineffective policies, or the failure to address important problems in a timely or appropriate manner. This can have serious consequences for individuals, but also for communities and society as a whole. We can see examples of such misguided approach and double standards as well in Europe. EU implements restrictions on green plans, but simultaneously applies regulations protecting dairy industry's interests. In example, they implemented labeling regulations for milk alternatives. Now I want to discuss a very important topic of understanding how to make sure you actually don't fall into the trap of scientism. It is a very important question that you should ask yourself as frequently as science appears. And that question is, do I fall into a trap of scientism? You want to say no. You want to see yourself as intelligent, objective, and rational. You want to think that you're not like that. You see yourself as a person who cannot be corrupted with propaganda, right? But that's the major problem with scientism. Nobody thinks that they are part of it. So how can you check whether you are approaching problems with scientific mindset or with scientism? Here is a list of signs that you should watch out for to ensure you are not stepping into the territory of scientism. Number 1. Are you led by fear or curiosity? By definition, both of these terms are opposite to each other. You cannot approach difficult topics with curiosity if the leading sensation you feel is fear. So be on your watch as soon as you notice that fear has entered the building. The odds are quite high that in that particular moment you are part of scientism. Question number 2. Do you consider that you might be wrong? The stronger we hold to our own opinions, the higher the odds of being a disciple of our beliefs, which means being part of scientism. It is a very difficult task to remain open and skeptical to our own opinion, After all, we think we're right, and we have cognitive biases that ensure that we seek actually opinions that confirm our own beliefs rather than trying to challenge them in the first place. Number 3. Are you skeptical towards experts who share your views? Those we agree with trigger all the confirmation biases we so crave to satisfy. We should be extra wary of blindly following anyone or anything, regardless of how much we want them to be right. So the next time you encounter the concept of science, ask yourself, is this approach truly based on science, or is it simply a way for those in power to manipulate and control our understanding of the world around us? How can we ensure that we are approaching problems with a true scientific mindset, rather than falling a victim to the dangers of scientism? These are important questions to consider as we strive to make informed decisions in our lives. What are your answers to these questions? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoy this type of content, click the subscribe and like, it will help my channel grow. Thank you.